Dementia Researcher with a blog and a rating.
Every penny counts. Small grant applications. Now I've got my fingers tightly crossed as I click the button on the application form. I've been working on a small grant application worth just under £2,000 and I'm really hoping I get it. My colleague and I have been simmering a small research idea for a few months now and have made a few small steps forward. But what we really need is a bit of person power, a few hours work by a research assistant to get it to lift off. So we found a small grant and have put together an application over the last 3 weeks, and we're hopeful it'll do just that. These small grant applications may not always seem so worthwhile. Why invest a ton of time for a small amount of money when what would really sustain you is a large grant or a fellowship award? That's a great question and one I've heard many ECR colleagues pondering. But these small awards are still money in the bank. Large grant bodies are more likely to invest in you if you have a track record of small awards already. And often these small awards are a chance to try out an idea, to bring to life a potential collaboration and kind of test it out, thereby also adding to your CVs, establishing your collaboration and getting a job done on a project idea. My colleague and I have been pondering our research idea for nearly 9 months. We've broken the idea into smaller subsections and have slowly started working on the first component, which was a survey. We secured ethical approval and finalised and piloted it and have now made that survey live. It seems to have gained some interest and we've already had really positive discussions with other people about it. So when we saw this small grant round come up internally, we leapt at the chance to apply. The application process itself always looks tediously long, but it worked because we collaborated. We chatted via email, just throwing a couple of ideas back and forth, then met in person for an hour to agree the idea. We made some notes on a shared document as we talked, and by the time we finished talking, we had the skeleton down. We then divided the tasks, so we led on a couple of sections each, but luckily there were 4 sections, so 2 each. We spent some time sketching out our sections and then commented on what each other had written. This didn't take long. And we're both super positive, so our notes to one another often read something like, "I love this idea, what about phrasing it like this?" Or, "Oh, thanks for noticing this, joint grant writing is much easier together." The only arduous bit was really the finance. We, and I always do this on small grants, forgot to check in with finance till the last minute. But given we had our costs, justifications and the application basically ready, plus we have a pretty good relationship with finance, this was a minor hiccup. I'm now on to the next one, which is due in a couple of weeks. I'm also trying for some PhD studentship funding with a biomedic colleague. This is a bit more money and a bit more writing, but this colleague approached me and has a great idea for a sales pitch. From cell to care, treatment for dementia. One of the benefits of this colleague is that they speak traditional biomedical science. It's so interesting and useful to see how they sell things in a different way. I'm learning so much with every attempt at one of these. It's much better than a grant writing workshop. It's almost more like an apprenticeship where I get to see how different people think and write and work on funding applications. It's quite exciting working with different people on different things too. It feels like this creates this kind of web of opportunities. The downside is it creates quite a bit of work and sacrifices time I might have spent on something else, like my current research, which I feel a tad behind on right now. Perhaps I also feel like I'm taking a bit of a risk every time I choose to put myself out there. I'm taking a risk by working with someone new who might or might not like or even appreciate my ideas. The grant funder might say no. I might have wasted time for a big fat no. But on the other hand, I'm also mindful that previous unsuccessful applications I applied to the same studentship scheme last year without success can be rewritten, rewoven and recrafted into a successful application. Therefore, no time is wasted. It's all invested. I pledge to be a big fat yes to continuing to try for small amounts of funding. It's genuinely good for me.
Thank you for listening. Join the Dementia Research bloggers and share your own views.